Do. This is an introduction. Hi. Welcome to Weirdsterly, LLC, weirdsterly.com podcast.
It's our first one.
It is our first
our
one.
actual first podcast, not trying to make it look like a podcast on Zoom.
Yeah. Like real equipment.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
We're almost like adults.
Yeah. I want to thank our sponsor for this, which is 321 Media.
That is a true statement.
That is a true statement. So Steph, you start.
Thanks, DJ.
You're welcome.
What am I starting with?
I don't know, whatever.
I'm Steph. Hi.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I was born on a dark, rainy Monday in July down in Virginia. At least that's what I'm told. I wasn't exactly conscious in the moment of it happening. I was a little, busy. I'm a Navy brat. My dad was in the military.
Yeah, you can tell.
What does that mean?
I'm just kidding. I love your dad.
My dad is awesome. I rent my dad out to my friends who need dads.
Yeah.
Because he's cool. We like him.
I do like him.
I was with him all weekend, last Valentine's Day weekend for the home show for his real estate stuff. Another thing is I helped him in his real estate. Don Miller at Berkshire Hathaway.
I love being in public and being like, somebody will be like, blah, 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 really vague reference to real estate. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, do you know Don Miller? And they're like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I have nothing to say after that. I'm like, me too.
The amount of times I have people that come up to me and be like, hey, I know your dad. I'm like, thanks. Where do we go from here?
That's it.
Not really sure.
That's all.
Yeah. I got a lot of that. Hey, I've known your dad for like decades. I'm like, me too.
Me too. we have so much in common.
We go way back.
Well, my name's DJ. Ironically, I DJ.
Yeah.
And
you're good at it. I can attest because we did a wedding together.
We did. And
I was the officiant and I recommended her to the couple.
That was so much fun.
They were so nice.
That was a really good wedding.
Like, they were so cute and romantic with each other. Like, I was so happy and annoyed at the same time.
Yeah, I don't like doing weddings where you're like, oh, that's not gonna last.
Yeah, there's that's a bunch of stories that could be told.
Yeah.
Of our wedding days.
I live in Connecticut. I was born in Connecticut. I've barely left Connecticut. That's it. Yeah. I don't know.
I want to talk about how we know each other?
Sure. How is my name DJ Gadget?
Well, your name is DJ Gadget thanks to a boyfriend I had in my early 20s who was very lazy. And he kept wanting stuff and you willingly went to give it to him.
I didn't know the problem.
Well, I mean, okay, so we were at a comic book store. Like, we went to high school together, me and DJ, but we got to know each other better when we all started hanging out at a comic book store. And my ex, as I said, was slightly lazy. And by slightly, I mean a lot.
A lot of it.
Little bit, yeah. That every time he wanted something, he wouldn't just ask. He would, I want that here. And she was fed up with it. And I would agree. I wasn't there on that day that it actually happened. And
it was weird. He was like, I'm so thirsty. But we had pop for sale. We had soda for sale. Yeah. So I was like, do you have a quarter? Like, here.
So needless to say, he deemed her go-go gadget.
Yep.
And it stuck. And decades later, it's still stuck. It stuck so much, it's tattooed on you.
It is. It has a terrible tattoo. So the story of that tattoo is I was with this girl at the time who wanted to go get a tattoo. And we walk into the tattoo parlor. And there's the tattoo artist who has an apprentice now.
Ooh.
And so...
Were you a guinea pig?
No, I was a human shield.
Oh, please continue.
Yeah, so the apprentice who we didn't know was an apprentice yet. We just thought she was the girl who worked at the tattoo shop. Is really getting it on with like not getting it on, but it's like hitting it off with my girlfriend at the time. And they're like
Oh.
best friends forever, and then we find out she's the apprentice. So obviously if you just made this like best friend, you're having a great time, you want that girl to do your tattoo. And I looked at my girlfriend at the time, who was going to get a tattoo like right here, and I'm
Oh.
like, oh, you don't want that? Oh my gosh. And I was
Mm.
like, oh, well, we were both going to get a tattoo. And she looked at me like, are you saving my life right now? And I said, I am. This is love. And so I was like, I really like, I don't know. Would you mind doing my tattoo? I mean, if you're going to do hers too, it would just take a long time. And I'm like, or she can go with him.
So you took one for
Yeah,
the team.
took one for the team.
Mm.
And I didn't know what I wanted because this was all like shooting from the hip. And so I was like, oh, how about gadget? I'll have to show it on a later date.
So you'll always, in a roundabout way, always remember me then.
Mm. You're much better than the tattoo is.
Oh, thank you.
She went very hard, and it's just like really dark, and it's pretty terrible.
I don't have tattoos. I wanted to get tattoos, but I have a connective tissue disorder, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I'm one of the ones that I scar very easily.
You can get like keloids and stuff too, right?
Not always. Sometimes it depends on like how deep the scratch was or how deep something was, but like my oh so loving cat likes to play hard. I'm not upset over it. And these scars, they'll be there for
A little bit.
a little bit
Of
a
time.
little bit. So I just don't want to risk. Like I have ideas I want. I even found a company that you can send in a design, and they will send you multiple sheets of temporary tattoos of that
That's
design.
adorable.
Um,
Just try it out, see if you like it there.
yeah, but it would also work for someone like me because
Mhm.
I was so afraid to, if I got a tattoo, like I already scar weird. So what if it doesn't work out right or get infected or
Right.
so it's too much of a risk. So as a kid, I just drew on myself.
Roxy does not like that. This is Roxy the radio dog. Come here. Oh, she's guarding the door. It's fine. Can you stop? Stop it. You want to be on the radio? You want to be on the TV? Up. Up, up. There she is. Oh, my baby. This is my whole heart.
So adorable.
She is adorable.
As long as she doesn't headbutt me
Yeah.
and then get fur in my eye.
She's pretty violent.
Sometimes she's violent with her love.
So what makes you weird?
Oh God.
It's going to be a longer show than expected.
More so. God, what am I in therapy for? That'd be a good start. I don't know. See, like I never really thought of myself as weird until I started talking to other people and then realizing like I don't do things the way they do, or I don't think the way they think, or the things that I like. Like all my girlfriends growing up were into dressing up and dolls, and I was into action figures and video games. And I mean, I even have a Devil May Cry phone case, my all-time favorite video game. What about you? Why are you weird? Dun dun dun.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like the weird one. I think that's what makes me weird. And then people later are like, I can't believe you said that. No, I don't know if I'm entirely socially acceptable. I liked dolls, but I like trucks too.
Right.
I had a Tonka. I was so proud of that. Like I finally got like a Tonka truck, not just a truck from like a 25-cent machine or
No, of course
something.
not.
Like it was like a Tonka truck. It was like this
Tonka.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never had a problem playing the mud.
Same.
I was a tomboy.
As I got older, I became a tomboy and I liked girly things as I got older. But I don't know. I just noticed I never really fit in with my own friends. Like I always felt like an outsider within my friend group solely because of either my interests or just how I went about things. Like I was friends with a bunch of different groups, like in high school.
Me
That-
too.
Like I'm sure you remember as in high
Yeah.
school, like all the different cliques and all the different groups. I would be a part of them, but I was never one of them.
Yeah, same. I knew plenty of popular kids.
Hmm.
I knew the punks, the goths, the sports people, jocks, and I played basketball, but
Me too.
wasn't really my thing after I got smacked in the face with the ball and bled all over the court, and that was embarrassing. So I
That kind of
stopped.
happens.
Yeah, I stopped doing that. I wanted to play football. At that time, they were like, "You can join the Powder Puff team," and I was
I
like,
remember that.
"No, I'm good."
Yeah.
I always idolized this girl on the Fitch team.
Mhm.
It was a girl on the real football team,
Mhm.
and I always thought that was wicked, and I wanted to play football.
There was a freshman when I was a freshman. There was a girl in one of my freshman classes. She actually tried out for the football team.
Good for her.
She didn't make it, but she did try out.
Stop hitting the table.
Sorry.
You're welcome. Um,
Now I'm touching the table.
I'm not touching you. No. I can like
See,
poke you. Which
that-
way are you? You're that way.
You're that way. It doesn't work anyway.
Why
Look at
are
my
you
hand.
weird? That was a good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That pretty much encompasses.
And you play D&D.
Yes, I had
Right.
D&D last night actually. What's up?
Do you have a character, or are there a bunch of characters you play, or how does that work?
Right now I have one character because I only play in one game. So my other friends, they have multiple characters for multiple games that they are in, where my DM, Dungeon Master, or GM for Game Master, he has other games where he's just a player. I have a friend who she is in almost all of our other friends' games. So I only have one only because of my time constraints. I only have time to play during this one game. Mine is a rogue, so I like to steal shiny things and stabby.
You're like a crow.
Caw.
Caw. Until you get caught.
No, we don't.
No?
We don't put that out there.
I'm gonna put that out there.
No.
Okay. So I played D&D a few times. I have like no concept of like a long-term game.
I've been playing
Either.
this one for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
This one campaign.
That's really cool.
But honestly, I like D&D for multiple reasons, but one of them is the creative side that people get to have. So I had a friend who, she was horrible at math. And there's a lot of math involved. I'm not that good in math either. But she was so creative in what she would come up with. So she flourished in this because a lot of it is just improv the entire time.
Yeah.
And even if you are good with statistics and math, but you're not in the creative aspect, you can still use that to your advantage. Like there's so many different aspects of it that you can shine through, whether it's, speaking with accents or coming up with some crazy backstory. I have the classic trope, both my parents died. That is a very classic thing in D&D where your parents died and now you have to avenge their death somehow. And that's my character currently.
Wow.
And
it's a lot of anger.
Yeah, but it provides with a lot of good role play to do. And plus anyone can join. Like it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your skill set. Like one of the guys that is in my group, he had never played before. This was his first time. I hadn't played in years before.
Do you find people are more supportive of that? Like they'll help him along until he's like kind of like less wobbly on his feet? Or do you find it more like you're like...
So I'm going to answer that as in it depends who you're with.
Okay.
I have met plenty of gamers that are very strict and rule sticklers and the action economy does not allow for that to happen. There's no way for this. Then there's some that does what's called the rule of cool, where it doesn't really seem like something that could happen, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Or
roll a 20.
Yeah. But if you really want to play and you find yourself a decent group, they'll always help you no matter what. If you have a good DM who mine has been playing for over 20 years. He's created his own world and whatnot for it that he's always said we can always message him if we have questions, which I had to the other day.
Judge. Sorry, that's a magic reference. Sorry.
Moving on. But yeah, I think there's a form of it for anybody because there's so much involved and so much that you can do with it. And I enjoy it for the improv aspect because you can be randomly funny. Or there was one night I got to yell at one of the characters and no one had seen me yell before.
Oh,
So, and like,
I don't think I've ever seen you yell.
Just wait.
Can we have like an example?
No, not right now.
No, okay.
I value Ben's equipment.
Okay. So if anyone in this area is interested in D&D, we do have a few groups that have popped up at the Weirdsterly Library, which is actually right across the street from us currently where we are. There's the Teen Dungeons and Dragons. That is going to be tomorrow at 4 o'clock until 5:30. Roxy, get a grip. And then there's the Tween D&D, which is tomorrow 5 to 6:30 in the Tween space. Stop. And there's group 3, which is February 26th, which is 4:30 to 6 in the Tween space. And it goes on and on. So just go to westerlylibrary.org and you can find the whole schedule.
I also want to shout out my friend Lee, who he does this thing called Drinking and Dragons, where it's 3 times a year. The next one coming up is actually Sunday, March 30th from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. at St. Joseph's Polish Society in Colchester. Basically, it doesn't matter what skill set you are, what you are, just show up, pick a table, and play D&D all night. And you can find that on Facebook. There's sign-up sheets by going to the website for it and spend a night playing D&D. It's really fun. I can't go to this one because I will actually be working at 90s Con that weekend.
Yay. So, that's something you do every year, right?
I've been doing it since it started. So this is my 4th year working there, and it's only been around for 4 years. So it's quite fun. The first person I got to work with was Candace Cameron Bure from Full House. She played DJ.
Ooh, I love her so much. That was one of the first girls that I saw be called DJ, which is why I like the name DJ.
Aside from being a DJ,
it was her. And then there's another one from Dude Ranch. I don't know. Salute Your Shorts. I don't know. One of those.
Maybe Salute Your Shorts. See, I also liked Full House because there was a Stephanie.
Yeah. So
the second one that I got to work with was Eliza Donovan from Clueless. She was so nice. I got to talk with her one-on-one a lot in between different sets of things. And then last year I got to work with some of the cast from Step by Step.
Oh.
And I got to work with, her name was Angela on Step by Step. It was quite good.
Okay.
She was so nice.
So it's a plus.
So nice. Her husband was amazing. They had their first kid last year.
Yay.
So congrats to them. I felt so bad. She was pregnant during 90s Con. So
her ankles were the size of her head.
Yeah. I remember calling for their escorts because they always had to be escorted from one place to another. I'm like, hey, can you come by a few times during the day? Because she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And she needs to get up.
Yeah.
They're like, we got you. Cool. So she was all set.
Nice.
So that was nice. Yeah, it's a fun experience. It's like Comic-Con, but for everything 90s.
Everything 90s. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of pink and green and blue.
Yeah.
All together.
Yeah. A lot of boom boxes, a lot of, Nickelodeon stuff back in the day. Did you ever have a favorite Nickelodeon show?
I love Nickelodeon. I loved Rocko's Modern Life.
I was Invader Zim.
That came out like a lot later. Like that came out when I was entering high school.
I still loved it.
Yeah, I didn't have as much time to watch TV like that. But like I grew up like with Rocco's Modern Life.
I liked Rocco's. That
I
was
did
funny.
like Invader Zim. I just feel like I didn't watch as much of it as everything else. I loved Rugrats.
Well, who doesn't? I mean, the orange VHS tape,
Yeah, that
was pinnacle to have.
I got the soundtrack to Rugrats.
I got the soundtrack to the one in Paris.
I don't know. Is that the one with the One Way or Another song redo?
I think so.
Yeah, that's the one I have. And
I jammed out to that.
yeah.
Not ashamed.
No. I feel like we should put that on Weirdsterly. It's weird enough, even though it's not like.
We could do a karaoke version of it.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a terrible idea.
Which makes it perfect.
Speaking of like our music and stuff, Weirdsterly is dedicated to the art community. So one thing that we've decided is like our music stream, we pay all the rights to songs, we pay ASCAP and all that, but we primarily play. It's almost like a just in case, and so that we can have cover bands. But we play local bands only. The only time you'll hear mainstream music on our stream is if it's a local DJ that's broadcasting, and the local DJ is usually only me broadcasting an event, and it's more for the event than it is for the music. The music just comes secondary, but the getting the word out there for the event is the most important in that instance. So that's the only time you'll hear mainstream music. Otherwise, you're going to hear all side stream music. Those who are trying hard to get to the ocean but haven't quite made it there yet, we really want to be this lighthouse for you to shine into the world.
We've actually been able to get music from California, like New Mexico,
Texas. We were in a magazine in New Mexico, and I'm still waiting for a copy, Shell, which has like a ridiculous, unfathomable amount of subscribers, which was
dang.
And this it's all about local music. It's like the whole local music scene in New Mexico. And so if you're in New Mexico and you're listening, go check out the Kitchen Hippie, because that's who got us in there.
Well, something else that was interesting and weird, see how I did that? Our app, when we look up the back end and the analytics of it, some way, somehow, we are pretty big in Germany.
Yeah, we have like a very faithful listener in Germany who's always on.
There was one in Australia.
Uh-huh.
Trying to think if there's any other ones. I think Australia and Germany were the only ones I remember. But I mean, everything goes viral in some form or fashion. So I'm sure one friend who told another friend who told another friend who told their pen pal from third grade that.
I've had friends who lived in Germany as well. So like if they have friends still over there,
right,
I can see that happening and just like leaving it on because it's mostly music. And then like I think our only commercial right now that's like an actual business, even though it's a hilarious commercial, is Big Alien Robot.
You're right. Yeah.
So,
but if you want to listen to the stream, we have an app that's for Apple and Android that you can find in either the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. I assume that's called Apple. I don't know. I'm Android.
App Store.
App Store. I'm Android.
Yeah. On my phone.
Yeah. Well.
And
I don't judge you.
Our new Alexa skill that actually works, you're welcome, is Alexa, play Weird Radio.
Because Weirdsterly was
too hard to say, I guess, and accents were getting in the way and all that. So we had to change it. So if you say play Weird Radio or activate Weird Radio skill, your Alexa might be a little touchy, but it's Weird Radio.
But aside from podcasts, you can see this will eventually be up on YouTube or any of our sites. Download the app and you'd get to hear all the different bands that we're talking about. And then if you find one you like, find them on social media, give them a follow, tell them you found them from Weirdsterly.
Yay!
Woot! But yeah, to just kind of bring light to those who don't get to see the light that often.
Do you have a favorite band yet? Local band?
I mean,
we're adding a lot all the time, so it's kind of hard to like pinpoint.
I mean, I'm always gonna say my first one is Red Light.
I need music, Red Light, or you don't exist. No, I'm kidding.
they gave you some music.
Did they?
Yeah, Rob and Matt gave you music.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah.
Crud, are they on yet?
I don't know. We'll look into that.
We'll look into that. I apologize. I might be a slacker.
We won't tell
They're
them.
on YouTube.
They are.
They are on our YouTube.
Any stuff that we get that has any kind of form of video, it'll be on YouTube at least. Do you have a favorite band that you found so far?
Before we started this, one of my favorite bands was Pocket Vinyl. And then Pocket Vinyl wholeheartedly supported us.
Oh, yeah.
And it is still going to make me tear up right now that it's just so cool that a band that I've loved so much is supporting an idea that we've had. Like, they're supporting us. They sent us music. They sent us a ton of music.
They still send us stuff because every time I go through the emails,
they're coming out with a new comic book.
I didn't know that.
This band is amazing. This band is, when you think of something like, say, an inventor, an entrepreneur is in front of Shark Tank, and they made a Who's a What's It, and the Shark Tank judges are like, oh, okay, everybody makes Who's a What's It, so anybody can make a Who's a What's It. What's up with your Who's a What's It? And you have to have that spark, that something special about you. Pocket Vinyl definitely has that. They have a small band that plays and a big band that plays. That is completely different. And then the small band is usually I think it's still a guy and a girl, and the girl paints the whole time, and the guy is like on the piano and singing, and it's amazing. And maybe they'll bring like a good, I don't know, somebody, but it's not the big band. And so then at the end of the show, that painting is up for auction.
Oh.
And it's a silent auction. And I cannot go to those shows anymore because I have 3.
Oh.
And they get really expensive because I get really competitive. That band will get paid if I'm there. Because I get mad and I'm like, I don't know, 500. And people are like, okay, I'm done. But it was only up to 200. But I was mad that I had to keep on going back and forth. So I was like, 5.
I'm sure they greatly appreciate your presence there.
Yeah. So my wife doesn't.
Well,
I'm like, okay, babe, I need your credit card. Mine doesn't work for this.
Some overdraft fee. I don't know.
Actually, me and Jen's first date was to a Pocket Vinyl show.
Really?
Yeah. And we got our first picture taken at a Pocket Vinyl show. And she decided to be my knight in shining armor and pay for my painting that she didn't know how much I bid. And no reflection on the band, total reflection on Wi-Fi. The card machine went down, and then we accidentally charged her card twice. And it got all figured out. But that initial, like, who the hell is this girl, and why did I just do that? Also, I need to call my bank. But yeah, no, we got.
Well, it worked out.
The second charge was kind of flagged anyway, and it was like, did you mean to buy 2 $500 paintings?
Well, I mean, it worked out. She put a ring on it.
Yeah, she put a ring on it.
So, go you.
Yeah. So
and Pocket Vinyl.
Pocket Vinyl is.
So, what kind of music do they play?
Yeah.
Okay.
They play music.
Got it.
I don't know how to explain it. It's so there's a lot of piano in it.
Okay.
There's a lot of depth in there. It's singing. We have some rap, we have some hard rock, but it's like singing. I would call it.
Is it like classical where it's like very smooth?
No. Okay. It's anything but smooth. It's
gotcha. Let me try to move this for a minute. Oh, there we go.
I want to see what they say they are.
That would be helpful.
Yeah. Um, because I have no idea how to describe them. Do you remember? I also don't want to offend them. So if they see this and they hate who I'm about to say, just know I love him. So me saying you sound a lot like him is from a place of love. Do you remember Ian Axel?
Yes.
Yeah. So they sound and remind me a lot of that kind of quirky,
Mm-hmm.
in your face. We're going to even sing about really hard topics. Um, but they sound so freaking happy. They're like, I want to kill myself. No. But
Well, as long as there's an upbeat.
yeah, I mean, there's always a bright side. And why can't I find a description right now to save my life?
Because you're on the spot.
I am. How do you even phone? Do I phone? But
You do iPhone.
I do.
I do Android.
What am I trying to do? I'm trying to go on like Facebook or something. But yeah, they also make a lot of art. Like their merch was handmade. Last show I went to, and I got this cool purse that had vinyl records as the sides, and then it was stitched
Oh,
all around.
that sounds cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. And is pop punk a thing?
It can be.
I feel like
It is now.
I feel like they're like poppy, punky, rocky. Roxy disagrees with me. I don't know
Well,
if anyone can hear that.
Roxy has her own views on many things.
This is another reason why I like Pocket Vinyl. I'm on their website right now. They have a 12-year-old fan named Jade who created 2 fantastic music videos for us recently. Well, I say for us, but honestly, she made them on her own, and sent them to us. She is very kind, and we wanted to post them. Also, from what she told us, she just started making films, and these are among the first videos they've ever made. They have an incredible sense of timing, talent, narrative, and rising conflict. We're just incredibly delighted these exist. Enjoy, my friends. And they posted her YouTubes, her videos that she made.
That's so cool.
So they're really all about art.
Plus, engaging with their all ages of fans.
Yeah,
So
12-year-old. That's so cool. They've also I don't know if they're in the Guinness Book of World Records, but they went for a world record of the most on tour, the most shows in a set amount of time, and they went all across the country.
Wow. Where are they out of?
I think they're out of Connecticut. I don't know. They go everywhere, so
So they're from everywhere.
yeah. I'm really mad at you guys' website, though, I gotta tell you.
She says lovingly.
Creating and making all kinds of comics, music, graphic novels, and I think that's supposed to say vibe. We are Pocket Vinyl. We're 2 people who like to do a lot of artistic things. Eric does music stuff. Elizabeth does visual art stuff. Our main things are Pocket Vinyl, or touring piano slamming mixed with live painting act, the touring test, the semi-autobiographical comic Elizabeth makes about being in a band, living as a full-time artist, and cats.
I approve.
Yeah, we've played over 1,000 concerts, released 10 Pocket Vinyl albums, drawn over 300 touring test comic strips, and even filmed, edited, created a full-length feature film about what it's like to live as a small, full-time touring musician.
Neat.
They do have a bigger band too. I don't know if that's not a thing anymore, but some of the members of Weird Beards were in it. I think.
Sounds very eclectic.
They are. There you go. That's the perfect word for Pocket Vinyl. They're very eclectic. If you don't like one of their songs, it doesn't mean you don't like any of their songs.
Because there's so many different types.
So many different types. There's like, they have some anger in them. They have a lot of sadness.
Well,
and then
sometimes you need that.
Yeah, there's also like overcoming and coming out on top, and I don't know. They're amazing.
Well, they definitely sound worth listening to,
Yeah.
just like some of the other bands we have. We
We have
also should
some-
mention, if you have recordings of your music and you would like to have it played on Weirdsterly, all you got to do is email it to us at weirdsterly@gmail.com, whether it's a YouTube link or whatever kind of other files.
MP3 is probably the best. Whatever you got, though, I can figure it out.
And once you email it to us, give us a little blurb about who you are or what you do, because then we can post it on our socials and let other people get to hear you. And maybe you'll start to get fans in other states or
Thank
other
you.
countries at this point.
I also like After the Morning. We just have a really good relationship with them.
Yeah.
They're also great.
That helps with the relationship.
Yeah, that helps with the relationship. Jesse Myers? I don't know his last name. I think it's Myers. He's
Yeah, just now.
They were a big band of sorts, and then people started like kind of dropping off, and Jesse worked really hard day in and day out to just keep them keeping on.
Mm-hmm.
If that meant he had to just be a recording artist for a while, which is what he's kind of been doing, and he plays every single instrument and sings and writes the music, that's fine. He had some people coming on though, so I see huge things for this band in the future.
That's awesome.
They just did a campaign. I got a cassette tape, mostly because I was like, oh my gosh, it's a cassette tape.
Do you have a means to play it?
I don't.
Well, I want to bring up one point. Our business cards, yours is actually a cassette tape.
I know.
Mine is a clapboard.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being, DJ likes to do more of the music side. I will be doing more of the video side. We can talk about that later, but just a fun little.
This is all because of this woman right here. I probably wouldn't have done a video, but she's convinced me. Yeah, she's convinced me. Also, I think it bridges something that I never got to experience listening to the radio, which is like years later, maybe figuring out what that voice looks like and being blown away, maybe taking that shock away a little bit.
Well, I like the visuals for things because I'll listen to podcasts. I'll even listen to gaming streams, but I like watching it because I'm someone who I'll make weird faces. I'll do weird hand gestures where just listening to it, I wouldn't see that and I wouldn't get the full thing. Now, not that to say that that's bad. It's just my preference.
I think it's more equal, inclusive.
Plus, you get a different kind of relationship.
We definitely have people in the deaf community who appreciate what we do and support us, and I like this because it supports them.
Right.
Whether they lip read or turn on captions, which the way I talk is probably terrible. I am sorry. But I want everybody to be included in whatever we're doing, so videos are going to help with that a lot.
Right. And one of the things that, or a few of the things that I plan to do, as she does most of the music stuff, is different videos, different podcasts of weird things. So not just, funny haha stuff. There will be some funny haha because it's funny haha, but serious sides of weird things. For example, I lost my mom. This year will be 11 years that I had lost my mom. And there's just some weird things you go through at every stage of grief.
For real.
And I remember last year it was the 10-year anniversary. And I'm well aware my mom has passed away. I'm well aware she's not around.
I'm glad you know that.
Yeah, well, it kind of don't have a choice. But there's a few moments where even if it wasn't something big or something bad or something great or whatever, there were moments that I was like, as much as I'm aware she's not around. Oh, wait.
That's a hard thing for me.
No.
Yeah, you can't. Like, I'm so excited. I want to tell my mom.
Right. Or just, there's been times randomly that I will be completely fine. I will be at home cleaning. I could be watching a movie. I could be driving in my car. And out of nowhere, I get just so angry. I can't tell her something. And I get everyone that wants to say, oh, but she's still around you. She's this. It's not the same.
Mm-mm.
Especially, I used to make my mom laugh all the time, and her biggest thing would tell me she was going to pee her pants and then slap me upside the head.
I can be there for you
I
to slap you across the head.
prefer you not. You're a little taller than her, so it really wouldn't be the same.
Uh,
But yeah, like different.
and my dad's gone,
Right.
so
But you're only, what was it, 2020 that he passed away, or 21?
21.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that I don't know that off the cuff, but I'm bad with timelines. But yeah, he passed away from Alzheimer's. So I also had a very long time. He has the longest Alzheimer's I've ever seen in my life.
Oh wow.
Other people, they tell me that their family member has Alzheimer's and then all of a sudden they have passed away very quickly. But this was like at least a decade of Alzheimer's, and it was slow and painful and agonizing. And so I had all that time to kind of grieve. I didn't think once he passed I was going to have the reaction I did. That was weird.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of weird stuff around that. I was in the same hospital as him because I like broke my back, and then
Oh, I remember that.
I had to hold myself up because I broke my back as I'm crying, and then crying because I broke my back because my dad died. Yeah.
Right.
So it was that was rough.
I
And then-
remember feeling, so I was there when my mom passed away. I chose to be there. She passed away from cancer, and it was cholangiocarcinoma, cancer of the bile duct. What? And me and my dad told her we will be there the whole time, and they gave us, she was doing good. And then we got a call that she just took a turn for the worst. She has a week left. So we stayed there. We camped out on her floor because she was at a rehab place for a while, and she ended up passing away. We were right there. We were holding her hand as it happened. And the next few days, what felt weird on top of just, losing your mother was that I didn't need to say anything else. Like, I got to have those last moments. I got to tell her, hey, remember, there was this one time when I was 18 that I snuck out of the house, and apparently she already knew because she told me. I was like, crap.
Are you trying to like clear your conscience?
Well, that's what you do. It's coming to the end. But, I got to have all these moments. Like,
By the way, I lied when I was 6. I did take all the sugar.
Oh, I didn't lie about that. I flat out did it. But there was like so many moments I hear other people talking about how they got this phone call at 3 a.m. and I didn't get that. I was there. I saw everything. But then I had this weird empty feeling I couldn't describe. Not just, losing my mom, but the fact that I'm not missing saying something to her. I'm not missing the fact I wasn't there. I got all the things not everyone gets. So it was such a weird, like, how do I process this? I'm really upset, but I shouldn't be upset because I got to do other things, but I am upset. Like, it was such a back and forth of everything that it took so long to be okay with, just to get over like this weird feeling of, I feel so bad, but I don't know why I'm feeling bad, even though of what's going on. There was just so many.
I think should and shouldn't is like the enemy of grief.
Oh, yeah.
It shouldn't have been that way. It should have been this way. I shouldn't feel like this. I think it's all kind of like your brain combating you somehow, because our brains hate us. I've decided.
Yeah.
Our brains hate us. And so it's really hard to get past ever saying should or shouldn't or just. Like it was just some small pet.
Right.
That's the one I hate the most. I'm like, that hurts so much. I still cry about my bearded dragon, Eli.
Or I cry about my dog, Noelle.
Yeah, like it was just or it should have been. Like those are all really dangerous things to start playing around with in your mind.
Yeah. And then to add even more grief onto everything else, because of the timing of when my mom died, I had to bury her the day before Mother's Day.
Perfect.
So then add in years later, I have friends that are mothers, so I want to celebrate them. But then there's always that quiet moment in the back of my mind that's like, I'm just going to go home to my cat. I love my cat, don't get me wrong, but
Sounds perfect to me. No, I get it.
So
I get
it's
really angry. Like, I thought my dad was like the hardest person to shop for. And now I will see something that he will love, and I get
mhm,
really, really excited and proud of myself because I forgot my dad died.
yeah.
And it was 2021. We're in 2025.
I get angry that my mom was very sick. She had some other health issues before we found out she had cancer. That I'm doing a lot of stuff now that she would have loved to have been with me to do. Like, I want to say 3 years ago, I went on my first cruise ever,
Heyo.
and she would have loved to be on a cruise. Last year, or the year before last, my dad and his wife came with me on a cruise for red light. They were doing the rock the boat thing, so it was amazing to have my dad with me. But she would have loved it. She would have loved all the music that I've been surrounded by. She would have loved this. She,
Yeah.
didn't get to experience a lot of that. So then I start getting sad and then mad and then just over, well, it's nothing I can do. And I have such a logistical mindset of things that I like tangible stuff. I like, okay, if I do that, that's going to make things better. And I can't do that.
Oof.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's a rough one to go through too.
Yeah, well, therapy.
Mm.
Yay.
I get sad because I know my dad would have loved. My dad loved dogs, loved animals of any kind,
Hmm.
and him and Roxy would have like when I go over my mom's house, like they would have just been asleep in his recliner, and I could tell he would just be there with his hand, and he would fall asleep like dog just chilling,
Just there.
like it's a baby, like just chilling.
Mhm.
I get sad about that. I get really happy that like Jen got to meet him in a sense. Maybe it was longer than a decade. It was astronomically long because me and Jen have been together for 8 years. So, yeah, I mean, and she knew him
Mhm.
for a while and then he died. Um,
You actually got to meet my mom once
yeah,
at a car show.
yeah,
I don't know where that picture it is. I think that picture is with He Who Shall Not Be Named.
yeah.
But
Okay, Harry Potter fans. Um,
um but yeah, it's so let's turn this back around to the other side of things is that
yeah,
I want to be able to talk about things that are going on and just the weird side of it. Like be
Yeah.
okay with talking about whether it's grief, whether it's sobriety, whether it's, getting out of an abusive relationship, which I was in,
sure.
things happen, but also fun stuff. Like as we were talking about earlier, me and DJ have worked many a weddings and the weird things that have gone on. Like the time a dog was let loose at a wedding and I had to dog sit until the owner showed up because I had to call them from a biker wedding. There was that one. That was fun.
Wait, was that the wedding we did?
No, no dog was released at.
Something happened.
We all had to wear masks.
No. Maybe it wasn't that wedding. I don't know. It was a lawnmower.
Oh no,
I
that
had to
wasn't ours.
I had to send groomsmen through trees to the next yard to like tell this person, "Can you please maybe stop for a minute?" Like, and
I had a couple who wanted me to read their vows for them because they had social anxiety.
oh,
Okay, that's fine.
that's super sweet.
Well, I got the vows.
Awkward, but super sweet.
I read the first line of the guys, and it started with "Yo, baby girl." And there's so much more to that story.
Oh,
But
baby girl, you are so lucky.
yeah, that's not what he said. But other professions, like my dad being a realtor, there are some crazy stories I have heard, or just fun, like even board games to play. Maybe we want to showcase that, and
Exploding kittens.
that is one that is on the list.
Yeah, I have that
And
one.
just various other things. Instead of some Reddit stories, we could do, am I the weirdo? And talking about situations where was that okay? Was that normal?
Tell me why I'm that person who gets those calls. Like, let me run something by you.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And I sit back and I just hear this and I'm like, I mean, you are the weirdo, but I love that about you.
Mm. There's been numerous times I've heard of a story and I'm like, ugh. Then I'll hear another story. I'm like, oh, I would have done that.
I mean, we have like 10 minutes left. I can run past you if you want to do a snippet of Am I the Weirdo? And I'll give you my Am I the Weirdo story.
Heck yeah, let's do this.
Okay, so more than 1,724 days ago, I used to drink.
I do know this.
And I was in a bar, and this guy bought me a drink. And everybody knows when they buy you a drink, like, do you have to talk to them? I don't know. So I went over because I was also the host for the night.
Oh.
So, of course, like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to go over there and say thank you, whatever. And so he's like, hey. And I'm like, hey, thank you very much. We all cheers. And he's introducing himself to me. So he's like, hey, I'm Dave, and this is Eric, and he works in landscaping. That's how I met him. And then this is Pete, and this is Josh, and Bob went home. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, what? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Is that why you're out tonight? And he was like,
You thought,
no, what? And I'm like, he's like, no, he just left. I'm like, oh, good. I thought he died. And so he's like, why would you think he died? I'm like, because you said he went home. I thought you meant like home. Am I the weirdo?
so all right, let's break this down a little. Who bought you the drink? Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, then no, you're
No,
not.
no,
oh.
Bob isn't Bob. The main guy, like
Oh.
Dave or whatever his name was.
So you never met Bob?
No.
So he's the weirdo for even bringing that up.
Right? And Bob went home. Like, who the hell is Bob? So,
Like,
okay. I feel better about this already.
I mean, I would have played it as how you would, to be funny and be like, oh, I wish him well on his journey and wherever he goes. But to randomly just say, like, yeah, this is, so and so and so and so. And he left. But you didn't even know who he was.
Like the realm?
That would have been cooler.
Like, he left. Yeah.
Maybe go to the shadow realm.
Yeah, like I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't even start drinking yet. Like,
I'm gonna deem you not the weirdo.
Okay.
But Dude Man was.
Dude Man was. All right. I feel better.
That's my take.
This is why this segment is going to be great. So if you have an Am I the Weirdo, just put Am I the Weirdo in the subject line and
send us
let
your
it
story.
go. Yeah.
Weirdsterly@gmail.com.
So I can actually make a banner.
Ooh, banners are fun.
Right.
So is there any kind of closing words you want to let out?
No.
Good job. So proud. Wasn't exactly a word, more so a vowel.
I'm making a banner.
You can do more than one thing at a time. I have faith in you.
Yeah. There it is. Weirdsterly@gmail.com.
Ooh, that's us.
Any bands out there that want to send us music? Any Am I the Weirdo submissions? Any bands you know about that you think we should look into?
Or you just want to say hi.
I love that.
Yeah. Hey, we caught your video or saw you on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
Or YouTube.
It would be better than what I flood the email with because I accidentally forget to switch over profiles.
Yeah.
And Steph's starting to see that I have a shopping addiction.
Yeah. I have noticed.
I have a problem.
I have not said anything yet.
Yeah, no. I'm working on it.
Because I think we both know.
Yeah.
And we'll fix that. We'll make some rules and
I didn't mean to.
No. So we can make some rules where all those emails just kind of go to
Oh yeah, that's right.
separate folder. So we stop having the you are almost out of space.
Does it do that? I don't have that much of a problem.
It had happened once.
Did it really?
Yeah, but I was on vacation, so I wasn't really paying attention to the email that week.
Man. All right. I've confronted this. I've confronted this and
all your plants.
I've already had like at least one intervention of you get an Amazon or plant or something package every day. And I'm like, I know. Also, I don't have rent. Oh my God. I have such good news. I have a friend. I just got flustered. One of my friends found a real Monstera obliqua, which is like $1,000 plant,
Oh,
and she got it for like wicked cheap. And
define wicked cheap though. When it comes to you being excited about a plant.
um, I don't know. It was like 100 or so, I think.
Okay.
It's like 90% off, dude.
Okay. I don't have plants.
I technically probably maybe have a clipping.
You have a rainforest.
I know. I only have 97 houseplants though.
Only.
That is like, I used to have over 100.
Okay. It's a rainforest. Like I thought Rainforest Cafe moved to your house.
It did. I have coffee. I have
Caw,
plants.
caw.
I tried to make a pro friend today.
Why don't we save that for the next episode?
Okay. So, do you have any closing?
I don't think so. I can end with caw.
All right.
Fun inside jokes.
Thank you for tuning in to weirdsterly.com and Weirdsterly LLC.
Bye.